morning students, welcome again into the 12th science chemistry class. Now we are learning the second chapter, that is solutions. Into that we have to learn today the three types of solution, that are isotonic solutions, hypertonic solutions and hypotonic solutions. Now this classification of solution is done on the basis of osmotic pressure. Now let us learn first the isotonic solutions. Iso means same. If the osmotic pressures of two or more solutions are same, then that solutions are said to be isotonic with each other. That means their molar concentrations are same, so they exert the same osmotic pressure. But though their molar concentrations are same, but their concentrations in grams per liter are different. For example, if you take, that is the sucrose and urea, we know that the molar mass of sucrose and urea are different. The molar mass of urea is 60 gram per mole and that of sucrose is 346 gram per mole. So if we have to prepare the solutions, that is of 1 molar concentration of both these, then we must dissolve 60 gram of urea in 1 liter and 346 gram of sucrose in 1 liter. That means their grams per mole concentrations are different, but they are both the solutions are of 1 molar in molar concentrations. So the isotonic solutions have the same molar concentration but different grams per liter concentrations, remember that. And again they exert the same osmotic pressure and therefore they are isotonic with each other. Now let us learn the isotonic solutions. Two or more solutions having the same osmotic pressure are said to be isotonic solutions. Now this is the definition of isotonic solution. Two or more solutions having the same osmotic pressure are said to be isotonic solutions. For example, 0.1 molar urea solution. That means for 0.1 molar urea solution, we must dissolve the 6 gram of urea in 1 liter, and 0.1 molar sucrose solution, for that we must dissolve 34.6 gram of sucrose in 1 liter. So 0.1 molar urea solution and 0.1 molar sucrose solution are isotonic because their osmotic pressures are equal. Such solutions have the same molar concentration, that is 0.1 molar, 0.1 molar, same molar concentration, but different concentrations in grams per liter. We know that because for preparation of 0.1 molar urea solution, we only dissolve 6 gram in 1 liter, but for preparation of 0.1 molar sucrose solution, as the that is molecular weight of sucrose is 346, so we must dissolve 34.6 gram of sucrose. So such solutions have the same molar concentration but different concentrations in gram per liter. If these solutions are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, then there is no flow of solvent molecules or solvent in either direction because their osmotic pressures are same. So no solvent flow from one solution to another solution, because we know that during osmosis the solvent molecules pass through the semi-permeable membrane from pure solvent to solution or from that is the dilute solution to concentration solution. But as the concentration, molar concentrations are same, osmotic pressures are same, so there is no flow of solvent in either direction. Now that is the peculiarity of that of the isotonic solution. Now let us learn the hypertonic solution. Now pay attention students on the blackboard, that is the hypertonic solutions. Now as the name suggests here, hyper means more. Now hypertonic solutions, if two solutions have unequal osmotic pressures, their osmotic pressures are not equal as that of the isotonic solution. If the two solutions have unequal osmotic pressures, then the more concentrated solution with higher osmotic pressure is said to be hypertonic solution. Now the more concentrated solution having the higher osmotic pressure is hypertonic than that of the another solution. So if two solutions have unequal osmotic pressures and the more concentrated solution with higher osmotic pressure is said to be hypertonic solution. For example, if osmotic pressure of sucrose solution is higher, suppose the osmotic pressure of sucrose solution is higher, that means it is more concentrated and higher than that of the urea solution, that means urea solution is less concentrated, then the sucrose solution is hypertonic to urea solution because the osmotic pressure of sucrose solution is more. So sucrose solution is more, that is hypertonic to that of the urea solution. Now let us learn the third solution, that is the hypotonic solutions. Hypo means less. Now if two solutions have unequal osmotic pressures, then the more dilute solution exhibiting lower osmotic pressure, exhibiting means they exert the lower osmotic pressure, the dilute solution which exhibit the lower osmotic pressure than the another solution, then the solution having the lower osmotic pressure is said to be hypotonic solution. So if the two solutions have unequal osmotic pressure, then the more dilute solution exhibiting lower osmotic pressure is said to be hypotonic solution. And for example, if osmotic pressure of urea solution is lower than that of the sucrose solution, then urea solution is hypotonic solution. Now in this way, these are the three types of solutions based on the osmotic pressure. Now let us learn about the osmotic pressure and concentration of the solutions. You may take the screenshot, students, and write down the notes in your notebook in a beautiful handwriting. Now this is the blackboard writing. You can take the screenshot. Now pay attention, students, on the blackboard. Now we are learning the osmotic pressure and concentration of solution. That means we have to calculate the molar mass of the solute from this colligative property, that is the osmotic pressure. Now students, we know that the colligative property depends upon the number of solute particles present into the solution. That means these colligative property, all the four colligative properties, that are the lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure, all are very important and useful to calculate the molar mass of the non-volatile solute present into the solution. So here we also use this osmotic pressure to calculate the molar mass of the solute, and there are the numericals also. Now see here, for very dilute solutions, the osmotic pressure follows the equation pi is equal to nRT. That is the ideal gas equation. Similarly, that is P, that is the pressure, is equal to nRT divided by V. We learn here there is the osmotic pressure. Instead of the P, here use pi. So pi is equal to N2RT divided by V. As that pi V is equal to N2RT, so pi is equal to N2RT divided by V. Now where this V is the volume of the solution in decimeter cube or in liters. Say decimeter cube is equal to liter, 1 liter. Now V is the volume of the solution in decimeter cube or in liter. N2 is the number of moles of non-volatile solute, because it is N2, so it is the number of moles of non-volatile solute. R is the gas constant and the value of R in decimeter atm per Kelvin per mole is 0.08206. Now this is the value of gas constant R in decimeter atm per Kelvin per mole. And pi is the osmotic pressure in atmosphere. As it is the pressure, so it is measured in atmosphere. Now student, we also know that a number of moles divided by volume is equal to concentration. So here number of moles of solid divided by volume is equal to concentration in molarity. Capital M, molarity, not molality here. So pi is equal to, now this N divided by V is substituted as, that is the capital M in the above equation here. So pi is equal to, now this N divided by V is equal to this capital M, that is the molarity, R is the gas constant and T is the temperature. So pi is equal to nRT. In this way the osmotic pressure can be calculated. Now here is the question in your mind students, why here we use the molarity instead of molality? In all the three qualitative property we always use the molality, but here during the measurement of osmotic pressure or to calculate the that is the molar mass of the solute, we are using the molarity, the another unit to measure the concentration, because here the osmotic pressures are measured at constant temperature. So there is no problem that is for increase or decrease of the concentration. So osmotic pressures are measured at constant temperature. So the concentrations are measured in molarity and not in molality. Remember that. Now let us learn how to calculate the molar mass of the solute. Now again pay attention on the blackboard how we can calculate the molar mass of the solute from the osmotic pressure. Now we know the equation. Consider pi is equal to N2RT divided by V, where N2 is the number of moles of solute, R is the gas constant having the value 0.08206, that is decimeter atm per Kelvin per decimeter cube atm per Kelvin per mole, and this T is the temperature and V is the volume in liters or decimeter cube, and pi is the osmotic pressure in atm. Now if student we take W2 gram of, that is the mass of the solute, W2 gram is the mass of the solute in V liters of the solution, and its molar mass, that is the molar mass of solute, is M2, then the number of moles of solute M2 is equal to W2 divided by M2, because we know how to calculate number of moles. Number of moles is equal to weight in gram divided by molar mass or molecular weight. So M2 can be calculated as W2 divided by M2. Now substitute this value of M2 in this equation, then we obtain pi is equal to W2 divided by M2, that is the value of this M2, RT divided by V. Or if we have to calculate the molar mass, then only take here M2 and the osmotic pressure pi goes to the denominator, and in this way the M2 is calculated as M2 is equal to W2 RT divided by pi V. Now this is the equation, M2 is equal to W2 RT divided by pi V. From this equation, we can calculate the molar mass of the non-volatile solute. Now we'll learn, that is, some numericals may be there, but first we have to calculate, that is the reverse osmosis we can take, and then we can take the numerical. So if students, you understand this video very well and you can confidently speak about the isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, and that of the hypotonic solution, and how the relation of this osmotic pressure to calculate the molar mass of the solute, then you can like, share and subscribe this video, and also tells the another student to like, subscribe and share this video, so as maximum students can be benefited by using or watching this video, and they can be confidently write down the answers in the examination. Thank you for watching this video. Now students, if you want to take the screenshot, then take now the screenshot and write down the notes into the examination. So best of luck for your study. Thank you very much.